Time for your daily dose of affirmations. Hello there, this is 10 Minute Talks, where I talk for 10 minutes and I post whatever is usable. I just wanted to tell you today that you are important, whether or not somebody tells you you're important, or if nobody expects anything from you. By very virtue of existing, you are important. I think every individual is imbued with the ability to impress themselves on the world, and the only reason we don't is because we choose not to. Take it from a person who's lurked a very long period of time on the internet, and in real life, you could say. As a person who survived primarily by not making waves, the impact, it's hard not to have an impact. It's hard to not do something that changes somebody else's opinion or life or worldview. It is hard to not be important. By virtue of existing, by virtue of just interacting with people, you are going to unconsciously make ties, leave remembrances around people. And in doing so, you become important because we wonder, if we stopped existing, if we stopped being around, would anyone miss us? Would anyone notice? And I guarantee you people will. Now, this isn't as severe necessarily as am I important or not, and am I going to stay alive or not? I didn't mean to go that far. What I really mean to go into, though, is that our day-to-day life, we still need to believe ourselves to be important. More importantly, we cannot derive our importance from people we cannot control. From people who need something in and of themselves and are looking for something already. And that something might not be you, no matter how hard you play it. No matter how hard you twist it, no matter how you change it. Your lack of importance to someone does not make you less important. And I wouldn't want that to be the case anyways, to have a specific board tell us whether or not we are particularly notable or not. I look at the Oscars and the Emmys and all that such, and they're all popularity contests. It's more about being able to show somebody is valuable in the first place. Because when things get that big, when import becomes a popularity contest and becomes something that you have to buy and sell off of, then of course it makes sense that we would create these monikers and these grading systems in order to show who's more popular or not. But none of those things tell a person the quality of said person, right? We dig into most anyone's backstory, anyone's incredible popularity in the past couple of years, and we always see that it's who you know more than anything. Certain people are related to certain people. People have good older brothers or good parents and all that such, and because of that, they're able to swing around more clout because who they know allows them to swing harder. But clout doesn't necessarily belay importance. There are still people, it's in the minority now, but there are still people who rise up by merit of their own work, of their own talents, of their skills. There are people who were homeless for a great deal of time, who were in between jobs and landed a lucky break and suddenly got big. And those people needed to keep going. Those people, even if they would do any work at that point, still believed it is worth going into acting or music or something. We need a sense of security, a sense of self-security, a sense of self-import that is unshakable in order to exist in general, but especially when we make things. Because we've been conditioned all our lives to believe that, especially if you grew up in a strict family, or a family that expected highly of you, that taking space is a crime, that impressing yourself, that showing yourself off, that being an individual is a crime in and of itself. Is you otherwise stepping on being grateful to somebody who did hard work for you? And because of that, we learn to think of everything as a gift. We learn to be overly grateful for everything. We learn, first and foremost, not to be entitled. Because at any moment, they can drop us. They can leave us. They can stop giving us what we want or what we need. And everything we do have is something that is earned, hard fought. I'm not going to say that worldview is unlike what reality is, because if I were to be completely honest, we're not owed anything. But I will say, conceding to that particular truth can be difficult on the mind. You see, humans are quick to believe that which is negative. We have a massive negativity bias, right? If we, in our formative years, believe ourselves not able to take up space and worth, that is something that impedes us in the future. Because we might grow up with low self-esteem. We might grow up with this lack of self-import, this lack of need to take up space when you deserve to. And the people who do take up space are not going to apologize for doing so. The people who were raised in a way that tells them, oh, I deserve the world. I deserve everything. I deserve to be able to be here and do this and do that. When they trample over people like us, those of us who don't believe ourselves to be important, it can be a catastrophe, right? We ought to play with our best hand. The self-important will always crush those who are not self-important unless we at least play the game like they do. We at least recognize our incredible capabilities, our potential for making waves, one that we've had to dull over the years and for the sake of social harmony. You are important. You're doing incredible things. And it might not be incredible to you because you're so used to them. Even if it takes you an hour to get out of bed in the morning, you still got out of bed. I heard this really lovely line from Sochi Gree, a alien VTuber, and they said, even if it takes 10 years, the 10 years will pass regardless. We can't call ourselves less important because of the time we invest, or the process, or where we are at the moment. You're not seeing right. Seeing our boons and movements as not that much. Not recognizing them for the small miracles that they are. That our very existence right now is a small miracle. Not recognizing all the small things that we do as minor miracles that people wish they had the gall or the agency or the accuracy that we do. I feel as though by not celebrating ourselves, by not believing ourselves to be important, we are giving people more power over us than we should. We have to find it in ourselves to believe ourselves important. Even when people don't tell us to. Because that sense of security, that sense of self-importance, is the shield for when people tell you that you're not. Ding, 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 10 minutes.